What's going on, real ones? BCHQ back with another discussion time, episode 94. Today I want to talk to you about work ethic and get your thoughts on it as well. So leave your thoughts in the comments, guys. But work ethic, things like how much work you do, how many hours per day, how hard you're working, also when to have a break and have some you time, but also when you have that time, how long do you have to relax until you get back on the ball? How much time off is too much time as well? So I think we can all, most of us will know about the 10,000 hours. They say if you put 10,000 hours into something, you become an expert at it, or you master that. I don't know if anyone ever masters anything, because I think there's always things you can improve on. You can always you can work at an elite level in something you do, but I don't necessarily know if there's anything that you can actually master, because as I said, I think that there's always things you can work on. And especially if you're the type of person that is very self-critical and demands a lot from yourself and is like a perfectionist, you're always going to pick on things that others might not see, because people might be blown away by what you do and rate you as number one in whatever you do, but there's going to be things that you aren't happy with within yourself that you know you could do better. So I think work ethic's a very interesting topic as well. It's something that I struggle with a lot, because I have multiple passions and I go through spells where, like quite recently on my channel here, I've not been uploading so much. Been quite busy with things, but at the same time as well, I'm not going to lie, I just haven't been motivated at times to do the videos. Doesn't mean that I don't want to do the videos anymore. It just means that I go through like peaks and troughs, if you will. Like it's like a roller coaster. You have up days and you have down days, but sometimes them days add up upon each other. So before you know it, you've got like a week where you haven't uploaded anything, and it goes by really quick. So it's definitely something I've struggled with, and I think a lot of people struggle with it. Just not many people talk about it too much. The Last Dance documentary of Michael Jordan, a lot of that was based on work ethic. Yes, he was talented. Yes, he had a lot of ability, but a lot of the stuff as well was hours of training, hours of in the gym on his own with his personal trainer. Like there was a bit in the documentary where they won one of the titles. I don't know if it was the first one or not, I can't remember, but they were like, all the players in that were partying and planning to go on holidays and stuff, and they was like, his trainer was like, call me when you need me, like in terms of getting back in the gym for the next season. He said, I'll call you tomorrow. The next day after winning a championship, he's back working on himself, getting himself stronger, fitter. And that's why I love that documentary so much as well, because it goes so much into not only the mindset, but the work ethic as well. Without action is no use. Do you know what I mean? So that documentary is definitely worth watching, if just on the work ethic side of it. You can learn a lot from that. But like I said, I'm guilty of it, because I know, and I think a lot of us know what we need to do and how to be better and progress. But for whatever reasons, we don't have the discipline all the time to stick with it. And that's something that I struggle with a lot. In terms of allowing yourself a break and allowing time off, I think it's important, because you don't want to burn out, but it's getting the balance right with it. You don't want to take too much time off where when you come back you haven't got that same spark, you haven't got that same energy you had before you left for a break. So I think probably a week, if that is substantial enough to get a bit of a rest, but to not be gone for too long. So I think about a week is about the right time. Like some people would say 2 weeks maybe, but I think 2 weeks is too much, because you then get lazy, you get comfortable, and so I would say about a week personally would be like the relaxation period, your break, your time off, and then get back to it after a week. But it's going to differ for everyone. Some people might be able to take more time off and come back with the same energy. So I think it all depends on the individual you are. and how you got to know what feels right to you. You got to know what's going to motivate you. Maybe having 2 weeks is going to motivate you more than having 1 week off. So again, it just comes down to preference, I think, and what you know about yourself. If you've done it in the past and you've had a week off, come back with loads of energy, and then you've had 2 weeks off the next time and you've noticed a drop in productivity, and so it's monitoring your own. It's kind of like you got to trial it for a bit to work out what works for you. So I think it's kind of, you just got to trial it and see where you have peaks and troughs. How much time off is too much? So that kind of ties into what I've just spoken about. So I think a week, personally, a week, 2 weeks at maximum, I would say. But if you go any longer than that, I just think that you fall in love with not doing nothing, and then you come back to it and you just don't have the same drive, the same passion. So about a week, I would say. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because especially when you suffer from depression and dips in mood, and none of us are perfect, guys. There's a lot of people out there and a lot of YouTubers out there that are going to pretend to you that everything's fine and dandy all the time. And it's not the case. They're putting on an act, they're putting on a show, and a lot of people are falling for it. But just know that social media is there to trick people. Social media is not what people, in the vast majority of people, what they show online in terms of even pictures and stuff. People aren't, they put a picture up of, look at all this I'm doing or how happy I am. A lot of that is forced. So I want to bring authenticity to this channel. I feel like that was already there anyway, but I just wanted to put a spotlight on this segment because there's a lot of fake stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there that's going to trick you into, yeah, that's what it is, that's what success is, that's what happiness is, I need to get online, I need to do this and that. But it doesn't necessarily, like, you might do that and get to it and think, what was that about that? I'm not happy. Like, and then you realise that a lot of them people were faking. A lot of them people were doing it for money or clickbait or views, or, do you know what I mean? They're not, it's not authentic. So you got to be sure in what you're doing. You got to have a plan for what you want to do, and just revisit it all, like every week. Revisit it every few days just to make sure that what you're doing is what you want to do, because it's probably going to change a lot. Like, we have ideas in our mind from the get-go, but life happens, and then you might take a different path halfway through that takes you on a different route than what you were planning to from the beginning of the journey. So I think you have to monitor it every day if you can, if not every day, every other day, and just keep on top of it, because things are going to change. You might start out trying to do something and then go a different route, like I said. And that doesn't mean you're wrong. That just means that you're exploring. You don't necessarily have 100% confidence or 100% on what you want to do. So it's going to go different ways. But just know that that's not wrong. That's natural. So don't beat yourself up if you start out a journey with a specific goal and you don't necessarily end up at that location that you thought you was going to end up at, because you might find other interests on the way. So it's just finding what you're passionate about, man. And it's just because when you're passionate about something, the work ethic's not going to seem like work ethic, because it's not going to feel like you're just doing a job all the time. If you truly love it and you truly have passion for it, it's going to feel like it's a blessing to you. You're happy to get up in the morning and do it. You're excited to do it every time you get up. It's a new day. You're excited to get into whatever that is. When a lot of people are working in jobs that they hate, that's why we feel so rubbish when we're getting up in the morning and we don't want to go, and because it is a job and we're not passionate about it. So when you are passionate about something, it's not going to feel like it's work ethic, and you're not going to be clock watching all the time. So I think that's an important thing to understand, is find what you're passionate about. And I know not everyone's got a specific thing that they're certain that they're passionate about. I'm like that a lot of the times. I've got multiple things that I try to juggle and try and find things. And even from school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. I wasn't set out of what I wanted to be. And it's always changing. So I kind of feel like I'm not an expert in anything, but I'm trying to do a lot of different things because I'm still trying to find myself. I'm still trying to find what is 100% me and what my true calling is. And I believe one of them is helping people with the life coaching thing. So I'm just going to plug my channel in this little segment. I've got a third channel, BC Speaks. If you just type that in YouTube and you go over there, please subscribe to that. BCHQ Extra channel, as well as my BCHQ channel. And both of them are, majority of it is reactions. Obviously I've got the discussion times on here, but the life coaching channels, it's got the lowest amount of subscribers on there compared to the other two channels, and I feel like that's what my true calling is. So if you guys could go over there and subscribe, and I think a lot of you would help a lot of you, because I think a lot of you are struggling as well. None of us are perfect, guys, and I just want to make a difference in the world, and I just want to help people, and I don't get paid for any of it at all. So I'm just doing it, and the stuff I'm specialising in is stuff that I have myself. So I've got life experience of it. I've got I was diagnosed with my illness at age 11. I'm now 29. I'm going to be 30 soon. I've got a lot of experience in my mental illness. So that's what I'm specialising in. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are suffering with the same illness, but a lot of people don't want to talk about it for maybe it's embarrassment, they feel shame or guilt, and you don't need to feel like that. There is communities. I've also got a Facebook page as well. If you type in Billy Cox OCD Life Coach Specialist in groups on Facebook, it'll pop up. But BC Speaks, if you type that into YouTube, BEECEE Speaks, all one word, and it'll pop up. Just go over there, guys, check it out, and I think you'll get something from it. So that's it for today's episode, guys. This was work ethic. I hope that you took something from this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.